Hi everybody, bear with me for just a second because I'm trying to find an angle that doesn't make me look quite so sad. Oh, also my bra straps are showing. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. Um, I I have weird subconscious rules, and one of them is don't show your bra straps. We can thank my mother for that. I was raised right. Um, you don't show your bra straps in public. And you never wear anything that has words written on your butt. So, yes, my children never wore any clothing that had words written across their derrieres. I also refuse to let my children wear camouflage. So there you go. A little bit about me. I cut my bangs. Probably a little bit too short. Right now I think I look like Lee Krasner, just trying to hang in there while Jackson Pollock's out picking up little girls and driving them into trees, if you know what I mean. Just so hi, how are you? My name's Kelly and I run cheapdreamery.com where I sell hand-dyed yarn. And today is for the next 25 minutes, June 25th, 2013. And we are in Cincinnati, Ohio, and it got up to 90 degrees today. I have no idea what the temperature is right now. But, hot, hot, hot. So, I forget what day it was the last time I recorded. But I have many other things to talk about before I talk about kind of stuff. So let's get on with the show. I've been spinning here and there, just a little bit. Diane from Knittables, the Knittables podcast, is doing a spin along, and it was in coordination with Into the World. And so this is what I got. Lavinia and Superwash Merino. And it's a lot of aquas and rust and brown. And I've divided it up. So that's 2 ounces there. This is how much I still have left to go for my first 2 ounces. And this will be my end. And then there. I'm working on trying to spin each one evenly, and then when I apply them together they might be the same color with minimal barber pulling. We'll see how that goes. But since I'm doing it color by color by color, you can't really see everything that I've been doing with it. But right now it's in a very deep aqua bluish green, which is really lovely. I really like it. So I'm having fun with it. And I should be able to get it complete by the end of the month. Tour de Fleece is starting in a few days, and I have plenty of fiber here to get me going and get me started. So I'm looking forward to that. See how it goes. I have fiber from all different places, so it'll be interesting to see what I can accomplish. I've also been put on warning to not buy any more fiber. Today I paid the rest of my deposit for Knittin' in the Mitten, which is with Coggy TM, and it will be up in Michigan in November. So any fiber money I was thinking of spending, whoosh, because I really had to get that paid. So the other thing I am knitting right now is, well, this pattern originally started as a Stephen West pattern by the name of West Loop. And hold on, because what's the front? What's the back? Jeez, come on. Alright. I'm making a mess of my own knitting here. Okay. Whoops. Wait. Here we go. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Okay. So, this is the West Loop. I just finished all of the gray portion, and now I'm adding in variegated yarn again. And it's kind of morphed completely away from being the original pattern. I have made a lot of modifications, not because I thought his pattern was dumb, but I made them because I didn't realize what I was doing when I started it. And then every time I picked it up, I started doing something different. So it was based on West Loop. It's definitely not exactly a West Loop anymore. So that's as far as I've gotten on that. And I'm hoping to have that finished sometime soon. We'll see what happens. But how was your week? Did you all have fun weekends? Did you do anything exciting? Have any happy news? I know somebody who has happy news, and I'm very happy for them. Very, very happy. Very happy. It's so fun to be happy for other people. It really is. It's great to be able to take my mind off of everything that I'm going through when I can think about, oh, something great is happening to somebody else. So, congratulations to a wonderful friend. Alright, what else? Yes, I'm getting ready for Tour de Fleece. I have a Lundrum wheel with empty bobbins, so I can work on that. And I've got some free spindles, available spindles, I should say, ready to go. So if I change my mind on things, I can go for it. Let's see. Also, thank you to everybody who has supported me, especially over the weekend, by buying my pattern or buying my yarn. Because you helped do that, I was able to pay for my deposit for Knittin' in the Mitten, which I was starting to worry I wouldn't be able to do. So if you are not aware of it yet, I do have a cowl pattern, and it's pretty easy, it's pretty simple, it's pretty fun. If you have a very highly variegated yarn and you don't know exactly what you should knit with it because it looks like unicorn farts and you're not sure of the best way to show it off, I highly recommend that pattern. And it is on sale until the end of June. July 1st, it will not be on sale anymore. I usually have it selling for $5, and I've marked it down to $2. And it's only on sale on Ravelry. And the coupon code, all in caps, is Good Times. And it's one word, Good Times. So, if you like the pattern, please buy it. would really help me out, help my family out. So thank you for your monetary support of buying my yarn and buying my patterns. And even if you already have the pattern, and I know some of you possibly have 3 copies of the pattern already, or possibly 4, you might be like, girl, I've got this. Maybe you can random active pattern somebody on Tuesday. No, I don't think the code works that way. I don't know. But it's only $2. Spread the word. Tell your friends. Please. It's pitiful for me to be here begging, but just because of everything that's going on, we are preparing for a crunch. Just day to day, we don't know exactly how things are going to go. And that can be stressful. I've got a lot of heartburn right now. So, yeah, I was unable to attend the Zombie Knitpocalypse retreat that was held in Minnesota this past weekend, and from all accounts, it looks like everybody had a wonderful time there, a terrific time. So congratulations to Megan and Amy for pulling it off. And like I've said before, I've helped do not exactly retreats, but get-togethers, large get-togethers. And I know the challenges that come with it. So I hope everybody treated you well, everybody treated you right, and now you can kind of sit back and relax and luxuriate in the feeling that knowing you've pulled off something that was a great success. So congratulations again. And I'm sad I couldn't make it, but I still feel like staying here was the best decision I could make concerning my husband, and I'll get to that in just a little bit more. Speaking of other retreats, Heather from Highland Handmaids, Boutros Babe, her podcast is the Fiberista Files, and Miss Katie, Jet Girl 1313 of Knitting on the Fly podcast. They just announced that they are going to be hosting a retreat in October in Maine. So I'd really like to go to that. My birthday's in October, so when my parents ask me what I want, I'm going to say, any cash you can give me. See how that goes. Maybe I'll be able to make it, because I'd really like to. Of course, I'm going to be seeing them in Michigan for Knittin' in the Mitten, but for them to host their own retreat, and the last time I was in Maine, I was 12 years old, so I'm sure things have changed. You know, I didn't get to see a lot of Maine. We just went to, like, factory outlets. Did school shopping. Went all up and down the East Coast, different outlets, school shopping. That's how we did it back then, kids. The other thing I was going to talk about real quick is basically I'm just going to read off something that I wrote on Ravelry earlier today. For those of you who currently have podcasts that are on Blip and you're wondering when the hammer's going to come down and take you off the air on Blip, and you're concerned about getting your podcasts on iTunes or keeping them, or what's going to happen when you're on YouTube. I want to give you a little bit of advice, but first I'm going to get a sip of tea because I've got things happening. Okay. I'm so delicate. Okay. So I'm just going to read off of my other monitor here. So if this is noisy, I apologize. But this is how I do. Okay. Wait, I've got to turn this. A few people have asked me how I do mine, since Blip rejected me right from the start, and there were people telling me bluntly that they would not watch my videocast if it was hosted on YouTube. I knew I would have to finagle away to get my stuff onto iTunes. And when I say people were blunt, they were flat out rude. Flat out rude. I couldn't believe it. Like, I would kind of send people a note saying, "Hi, my name's Kelly, and I see that you watch other podcasts, and I'm planning to host my own podcast, and I thought I would give you the URL, and you could watch it from YouTube." And people were just horrified by the idea of having to watch something on YouTube. Oh, I can't download it. There's a YouTube app. You can download it from there. Well, I only watch it on my Roku. Okay, well, I'm pretty positive you can get YouTube on your Roku. And if you have DirecTV, you can watch YouTube videos there, too. There are a lot of workarounds for YouTube. But mostly I was just really shocked at how rude and blunt people were when I was starting out. It's 6 months later. Well, it's more than 6 months later. I could have had a baby by now. It's like 9 months later, 10 months later. I don't care anymore. I don't care about those people. They're probably not watching me. But I won't forget how rude they were. So, continuing on. Basically, my husband is a wizard/web developer, which is true. So, he helped me with a lot of the configuration. We looked at libsyn.com, but each time we changed or shrank the formatting of an episode, the monthly subscription price went up to where they wanted to charge $300 a month. No, sir. No, ma'am. Not happening. I understand that audiocasts are much cheaper for Libsyn, though. I think CogETM is one of the people who uses Libsyn, and she is only audio. For those of you on Blip, don't lose hope. I always still load each of my videocasts onto YouTube, and I do have viewers there that subscribe or casually stop by. It's also very easy to insert a YouTube video right into a post on Ravelry. Sometimes we have viewers who don't actually want to leave whatever site they are already on and just want to view it outright on the spot without tabbing. So that is helpful for them. 2. This blip crisis is not going to go away. It is really important to educate your viewers about their other options for viewing your videocast and why it is happening. The majority of our viewers are clever and smart and can adapt easily to new things. I mean, we all knit, or crochet or spin, so we know everyone out there watching us has the power to make these kinds of adjustments too. For the stubborn ones, they're not stupid, they're just stubborn. For the stubborn ones who insist they only watch through Downcast or their Roku, you will need to make some administrative decisions about how important it is for you to keep them as viewers and how much you would be willing to pay to keep them. Sadly, not everything is free on the internet. And I know that a lot of you are using Blogspot for your website to begin with and things like that. So a lot of you are coming to a point where you have to decide, is this just a hobby that was fun for a while and maybe it's time for me to give it up? Or can I adapt myself and just post them on YouTube? Because it's more fun to have a podcast than it is to try to make a business out of it and spend money. So, as I was saying, how much you would be willing to pay to keep them. And remember, this will be happening to all Blip Videocasters who are doing the single screen videos. So these stubborn viewers are about to become very disappointed, not only with the changes in how you produce and host your own videocast, but all the other ones as well. Don't take it personally. Don't freak out. Don't worry. And I'll get to that just a little bit more. 3. As Blip decides to recreate their business model, I predict that it won't be long before another venture capitalist out there decides that they want to invest in a great idea a few people have for hosting videos. Of course, eventually these investors are going to want to see a return, and yeah, it will most likely be through advertising, but I think there will be a healthy dose of competition coming Blip's way very soon. They might be exclusively denying current videocasters now, but soon people will leave of their own volition and word will get around about Blip's treatment of previous customers, and people will be tentative to go into business with them. Don't lose hope. 4. I forget what else I was going to say. But as long as we continue to videocast from whatever medium we decide and keep letting people know what's going on, there will be viewers. A lot of videocasters that rely on Blip and are incredibly popular are going to be making decisions soon about what they will do, how much they will pay, and once they choose and their viewers follow, that will be the most accepted way to do it until another shift happens. Humans are strange. We can adapt very easily to learning a new way to knit, but stubbornly hang on to how we watch videos about knitting. If one can knit and then learn to crochet or spin or weave on a loom, then one can watch a Blip video and then learn how to watch it on YouTube. The end. But for those of you who are concerned, like I said, there will be competition for Blip soon enough. There will be other people who are willing to host for free, and they might not have a business model yet. Maybe their advertising is just going to be a banner that just constantly runs at the bottom of the screen, kind of like YouTube already has. But unless you are willing to pay money, then you are not going to be able to work around having your videocasts remain on iTunes. There's just no way to do it. I host mine on my own domain. Did I say that already? I read through things so fast. Yeah, I forgot this whole paragraph. He did some wizardry, and technically my iTunes feed is hosted on my own domain. You can literally download each of my videocasts straight from my website if you were inclined to do that. For those of you using free services like Blogspot, I'm unsure how it would work. Because I host on my own domain through a paid server, iTunes is able to pick up the feed from there. It's not cheap, but it's also not as costly as Libsyn. And my decision to pay for it is because I also use this as part of getting the word out about my yarn, about my business. So basically, it's my weekly advertisement for myself. So that's why I pay for it. And you will have to decide if you have enough reasons to want to pay for it for yourself. There are a lot of workarounds, but the majority of them I don't think work with Blogspot. Unless you're going to go ahead and just post your videos on YouTube. Eventually, your viewers are going to have to suck it up or leave. And that's okay, because YouTube has a wide and varied community, and there's a very good chance that you're going to meet other podcasters that knit that you didn't ever know about, because maybe you never watched anything that people on YouTube did, right? Right. And YouTube is very easy to host through Google Plus as well, because YouTube is a subsidiary of Google. And that's another reason why YouTube and iTunes do not work well together. Competition. And they do not care to play nice with each other. So, if you stick with YouTube, that's free. I post mine on YouTube every week, and sometimes I go over an hour, and I've never been charged a fee or anything like that for it. So, if you want to do an hour-long videocast and upload it to YouTube, it's fine and dandy. I have not had any problems whatsoever with them. So, it's up to you, right? So, those are my choices that I made. Those are my decisions that I made and why. So, maybe I gave you something to think about. I hope you consider your options. I also know that you can make your own videos for Vimeo, but when I was going to sign up for a business one, there was something about it that was not going to work properly with iTunes, once again. And I kind of forget what it is at the moment, but it was not going to play nice. It was much easier for us to go, okay, we will just FTP this to our own domain and then have the servers pick it up and send it off to YouTube. I'm sorry, iTunes. And then I would separately upload to YouTube as well. And gets me more people watching, right? Right. Okay. Next thing, I was just gonna rant for a minute. But let me fix this real quick. And I'm sorry if it makes a noise. But I kind of did not like the color of my skin. Oh, let me just show you my shirt for a minute. I got it off of Threadless. I'm not trying to show you my bust, but This is called a luauzy vacation. And I did post a picture on Instagram of one of the scenes that's on it. And the scene I posted is my favorite. It's two flamingos chasing a guy. Because that would be a luauzy vacation. Do you like puns? That's a pun. Luauzy. It's very funny. Okay. So, have you heard about this game called Candy Crush? I hate this game. I think this game is utterly stupid. And I play this game at least once a day. What's wrong with me? Why do I do it? It's just like Bejeweled, except infuriating. And I have Bejeweled. But for those of you who don't know what Candy Crush is, ooh, sorry about that. Basically, well, first of all, I'm going to go help out all of my friends who need a life. And I just love how when I do that, then Facebook announces that I gave life. So, alright. Here's the thing. Where it says 5 full, that means you get 5 lives. You get 5 chances to complete a puzzle. And then after that, you're out of lives, and every 30 minutes you get a new life. So basically, what? Every 2.5 hours, you have 5 full lives again. So if you're a serious addict, you could do that. Now, I've got some mail. I'm not going to open it right now. But most likely in this mail, it will be people who are sending me extra moves, which are virtually useless in this game. And sometimes people send me extra lives. And I like to hang on to those for when I am frustrated with a puzzle and want to just get the stupid thing done. And then we have the Yeti shop. Let me just poke right there. People, yes, right there in the middle I want to show you something. The Charm of Stripes. Do you see the price there? $40. $40. $40. $40. Sorry about that. $40. And what it does is it just wipes away a stripe of colors that you were trying to clear. $40. $40. Now, when I played World of Warcraft, did I spend money on stupid things? Yes. If they were selling, say, an adorable penguin pet for charity, I would buy it. If, say, they were selling a vehicle that I could fly and then have a character from my second account fly in, yeah, I bought it. Because I like to power level my own characters. That was fun. So, yes, I have bought, admittedly, stupid things on video games. But I've got to tell you, $40 for a paintbrush to clear a line in one direction in a Bejeweled game is one of the most idiotic purchases anybody could ever make, game-wise. If you've done it, I'm judging you. I'm judging you so hard right now. You're smarter than that. You shouldn't be doing that. For shame. For shame. For shame. Next time you get stuck, text me. And show me what you're stuck on. Or do a Google Hangout with me. And then show me on your iPad where the game has hurt you. And I'll tell you what to move. Do not spend $40. That is so ridiculous. I can't believe it. You're my friends, and I love you. Please do not spend $40 on something like that. You know how much yarn you could buy with $40? How much pretty yarn? You could almost buy one set of signature circular needles. Don't spend $40 on a paintbrush that will clear away a stripe in Candy Crush. Please. I'm begging you. So that's my little rant for the day. Man, I really went to town on these bangs. They were just, I got out of the shower and they were just hanging so low past my eyes that I was like, forget it, I'm gonna cut them while they're wet. Most of the time I cut them when I'm dry, when my hair is dry, so that I can see how it's going to turn out. But I was just completely fed up and impatient, and I wanted to be able to put my glasses on and read while my hair was still wet. So I just went to town. It'll be okay. It's hair. It grows back. So, yesterday, well, now 2 days ago, Monday, was my baby boy's birthday. He's 20 now. That means I do not have any teenagers. I do not have any preteens. I do not have any toddlers or infants. My kids are grown in different ways. So, 25, 21, and 20. And 25 is soon to be 26. So, that doesn't mean I'm ready to be a grandmom. Please, no. Please, no. Not ready for that. That can wait a while. At least, how old am I? It can wait like 7 or 8 years. I could use a break from responsibility that I've had for, I don't know, my entire dysfunctional life. But it was his birthday the other day, and as I may have mentioned last week, he went out to Maryland with his father's family. They all met up and did things in Maryland, and my ex-husband was gracious enough to let my kids visit with my parents. So I didn't even tell my parents that my kids were going to be out there because I didn't know what kind of attitude my ex-husband would have. So Sometimes he will surprise you, and sometimes he's just predictable. When I was in the middle of my divorce, the county that we got our divorce in, we we had to take a class. I think a couple classes, but we did not have to take them together. But the main focus was that we, as divorced parents, would have to work very hard on not saying anything disparaging about the other parent. And I think I did an okay job on that. I don't think I was perfect, but I think I did okay. And for anybody who is possibly going through a divorce and really is feeling untoward the person they are divorcing, I recommend that anything that you dislike about that other person is something that you do not have to tell your kids about, because it is something that your kids will realize on their own someday. They'll pick up on it. And when they do pick up on it, do your best not to agree with them. You go, oh yeah. Do your best to remain neutral. You don't have to stick up for the other person, but you don't have to help put them down. So that's my tiny, tiny bit of wisdom. And now that my children are all in their 20s, I'm sure that they have feelings about me that, irritate them or whatever, that they haven't brought up to me. Which is kind of surprising, because I know I'm not perfect. So anyway, it was his birthday the other day, and I have not seen him yet. But we got him a few shirts on Threadless, and the Steam summer sale is coming. And it's a bit of a tradition for us to buy him games on Steam that are on sale during the summer sale. So he's looking forward to that. I like to see how low the prices get. It's always interesting. But I've already pre-ordered my Civ 5, whatever the next one is, that's coming out on like July 9th. You might not see me for like a month if I'm that deep into playing my Civ. So that's how that's going. And alright, so now I'm going to talk about my husband and what's going on. If you're not interested in this part, bye. Thank you for coming to listen in the first place. I appreciate it. Buy my cow pattern if you haven't yet. I really need the money. So here's the deal with my husband. I forget which day I podcasted last week. So is my husband doing better? No. But he's better at coping with what's going on. And like I tried to explain last week, diverticulosis is very different from diverticulitis. My husband has diverticulitis with a fistula. That means that there are portions of his large intestines which are diseased and infected. And the fistula means that he has a hole in his intestines that has connected to another organ in his body, and stuff from his intestines is going into this other part of his body where it should not be going. And I don't want to get really graphic about it, but if you have ever experienced it, you have my deepest sympathies. The other day, my husband tried to eat some semi-solid food, and things went very poorly. They went poorly in a way where if it was happening to me, I would be crying and freaking out the entire time. The human body can do really bizarre stuff. And when he told me what happened, I just... my heart breaks for him. I understand why the doctors wanted to put off his surgery, was so that he could get the inflammation down, so that it would be easier for them to complete the surgery. But I'm telling you, if what's happening to him was happening to me, I would... I'm sorry, hold on. If what was happening to him was happening to me, because I have insurance, I would be back at the hospital right now demanding that they just take all of my intestines out of me and give me a colostomy bag, because what he's going through is terrible. It's awful. And on Monday, he saw my doctor, and she did a physical for all of his other parts, and she believes that he's healthy enough for the surgery, and that when he has the surgery, he will make it. There won't be he doesn't have a problem with blood pressure or his heart or his lungs. All of that's fine and well. So his health is good enough for surgery. So he doesn't have an appointment with the surgeon until the end of July. And he stopped taking the antibiotics on Monday, and he was not prescribed any more antibiotics. And since that has happened, things are not going well. As a matter of fact, we were watching TV tonight, and he had a lot of pain. A lot of what he described as burning, sustaining pain around his sigmoid colon. And he took a Percocet before bed, but there's a very good chance that tomorrow or today we are going to make another trip back to the emergency room. And here's the funny thing. He actually needs to go have a meeting at noon, and he can't cancel it because the previous meeting was canceled because he was in the hospital. And he doesn't want these people to think that, he's a loser. He keeps, putting us off to go to the hospital. Maybe he's a risk and we shouldn't go through with anything with this guy. So, hopefully in the morning he feels better. Maybe it's just something that he ate tonight and he feels better in the morning and feels better after his meeting. If he doesn't feel better after his meeting tomorrow, then he's going to go and retrieve my baby boy and bring my baby boy back to this house so that he can watch Maisie for us and Rocky. And then I will go sit in the emergency room again with my husband and wait to see what happens. So that's where we are right now. That is everything that's going on. So I know that I said this in the beginning, but I'll say it again. Thank you to everyone who's contacted me and let me know that you support me and that you care about me and you hope everything turns out well. I definitely hope everything turns out well. Thank you so much for buying my patterns. Thank you so much for buying my yarn, because depending on what happens, we could be in a real crunch real soon. An unprepared crunch. I hope he feels better tomorrow. I really hope he feels better tomorrow. Because we're not prepared. We're kind of prepared for things to happen in August, I guess, since he's not really going to be able to see the surgeon until the end of July. We're kind of preparing for, okay, August is going to be when everything gets shuffled. We were going to move his office into his bedroom so that he wouldn't have to get up and move quite so much after the surgery and things like that. We haven't done any of that yet. There are just a lot of other things that need to get done. I need to get a driver's license. We're not ready. I'm not ready. No, maybe you don't know. Maybe you do know. So, that's where I am for this week. I'm really happy for all of you who have had a wonderful week. And congratulations again to people who had extra super wonderful weeks and weekends. I hope that this coming week and weekend are filled with happiness and joy for all of you. I am Sheep Dreamery pretty much everywhere in social media. On Facebook, and if you play Candy Crush, I do not play Candy Crush on my Sheep Dreamery account, and I won't be. I keep my Candy Crush on my personal Facebook account, and please don't be offended, but I am very cautious about who I add as friends over on my personal one. So I'm Sheep Dreamery on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Plurk, Instagram. I'm posting at least a picture a day on Instagram, and that's where I'm enjoying my social media time the most lately is over there. Sheep Dreamery on YouTube, Sheep Dreamery on iTunes, and sheepdreamery.com. And I guess that's it for this week. Hopefully my coming week will be brighter and shinier and happier. And don't forget, if you buy my pattern, use the coupon Good Times, all in caps, and you will get the pattern for $2 instead of $5. What a bargain! What a bargain! You don't have to use my yarn to make the pattern. It can be made in worsted weight, it can be made in DK weight, and it turns out fun and fancy. So, I hope to see you all next week, and I hope you have a great week. Bye now.